is going on, everybody? This is Jay from Maji and Jay. Today in this video we're going to take our time to review the all new Kingzone N5 that I got directly from the company Kingzone. The website is kingzone.cc, but you can also buy it from gearbest.com, tinydeal, DHgate, eBay, and many other vendors out there. In my case, I just got it directly from the company. At that time, the phone was in pre-order, but right now it is in stock, and I had to say that this phone is truly impressive for the price. It supports 3G in the USA, even though it is a 4G LTE device, but I'll be getting into that later on in the video. But right now, let's go ahead and take a look around the device. The first thing we got on the front is a 5-inch, 5-point multi-touch screen with a resolution of 1280 by 720 pixels. It is IPS, OGS, and then also on the bottom we got the standard Android buttons. Even though they don't light up, we do have the menu key, the home key, and the back key. At first glance, when the display is off, the phone looks like it's an edge-to-edge display, and it actually looks very nice even though it is not an edge-to-edge display. Having a black background right now on the back, as you guys can notice, make it look very nice and elegant if you ask me. On the top, you got a 5-megapixel sensor camera. We have the ear speaker, and right between the ear speaker and the proximity sensor we have a notification LED light, and then we have the proximity sensor and the light sensor all together. Looking on the left side of the phone is where we're going to find nothing, just a metallic frame, but also we can see that the phone looks very thin. And Kingzone, it is claiming that this device is 6.3 millimeters thin, but that's only on the metal frame. If you measure the screen and the back, it's going to be about 7.4 millimeters, which is still very thin. On the top, we got the charging port. It's also going to support OTG, and this is just a standard micro charging port. We got the 3.5mm headphone jack. On the right side, we find here the volume rockers up and down, which is very confusing because all of the buttons do have almost the same separation between them, and they have the same design. But yes, this is the volume rocker, and this is the power key, together with the metallic frame. On the bottom side, we find nothing here. We just have the main microphone. If we flip the phone around, is where we're going to find that 30 megapixel sensor camera, and this time is a true 30 megapixel. And of course, I have provided some picture samples below in case you guys want to check it out. And I will also be talking about the camera with a video test very shortly. We find the LED flash. We have the Kingzone logo. Now you guys have to be careful because this is painted over the back cover. So if you use something rough like your nail, this can easily peel off. I would just recommend that you guys use the case that came included. That way you're protected from day one. And yes, this is included already in there for free. Then on the bottom, we're going to find a Kingzone logo, and this is a Yamaha speaker, and also has the hi-fi sound recorder, and it's also by Yamaha. So I am truly impressed with the speaker quality. Even though it looks very tiny, as you guys can tell, the sound is actually not that bad. Taking a look inside of the phone, let me go ahead and remove this cover. You guys have to be careful because even though it is flexible, it's not of the best material out there, so just be very gentle when pulling this off. But then in here, we're going to see that yes, it is a dual standby device. Also, we can see the construction looks very similar to Samsung devices, if you guys ask me. And then on the bottom there, we can see the Yamaha speaker. Also, the battery is a true 2600 power battery. It is lasting me the entire day without any issues, so this is not faked. And if you guys look at it, it has a very decent size. Removing it here is also I would say quite thick, and the weight seems to be realistic according to what they're judging this battery to be, which is a 2600 power milliamps. It seems quite realistic. Inside, we can see there that yes, it is once again a dual standby device. Supports TF cards up to 64 gigabytes. We got the Kingzone N5 logo, the IMEI information, and yes, it is a 4G LTE device, but like many other Chinese devices, we're not going to get the support for the USA, unfortunately, guys. With this being said, let's go ahead and install the back cover, boot up this phone, so that way once again you can see how the boot logo looks like. I have to say, guys, that Kingzone really stepped it up and made a very good product at a very affordable price. I think that this phone is actually quite impressive. I know that there are many Chinese devices out there, but keep in mind that some of them come with a 5.5-inch display, some of them come with a 5-inch. It all depends on what you guys are looking for. This device also comes with the Mali T720, and if I forgot to mention, it has the processor MTK6735. And also, it comes with the Android 5.1. It supports HotKnot and many other great features, in which we're going to get in just a moment. For right now, we can see here the Kingzone logo, nothing very special. It is very simple and plain. And there we can already see the resolution, a little bit of the screen. I can't say that the colors yet look nice, but you guys have to judge it by yourself. I think that this phone has great brightness. The colors are pretty vivid, I would say. So here we have the lock screen. It is very standard for the Android 5.1. All we find on here is the time. You also got the dates. On the bottom, we can see the toggles. We can go directly to the dialer. We can just go directly to the camera, something very common on the Android 5.1 and also 5.0. Here on the toggles, we can see that yes, it has the Android 5.1 because we can connect directly to the Wi-Fi from the toggles, which is very cool. We got the Bluetooth, we also have the airplane mode, the auto rotation, and all that standard stuff. Now here, just want to test briefly the flashlight. I think the flashlight is actually quite good on this device. I mean, it's not going to really turn you blind, but at least it's going to do its job for the most part, considering the size that it has. So with that being said, let's go ahead and unlock the device, and then here we're going to find the operating system. Again, it's the Android 5.1 at 64 bits. It has a launcher installed by Kingzone, which I really don't like because some of the icons of the applications look a little bit funny, including YouTube, the Play Store. We also got GPS tests, and even Skype. They don't look right. Now, it is running quite smooth, but like I said, guys, I don't like the fact that the icons look a little bit distorted to me. So for that reason, I would just recommend that you guys install your own if you wish to do so. Also here from settings, let's go ahead and confirm some stuff that we have on here. Let's go ahead and start with the operating system like we usually do. Let me see, and there we have it, Android 5.1. It is real. We're going to confirm that later on also with Antutu benchmark test. So going back here on settings, we're going to actually find on about device that it does support OTA. So yes, you do have wireless updates, and I believe that I already received one, in which after the update, the signal reception got a lot better. So going back here, let's go all the way to the top. There we can find the Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth, which is the 4.0. We do have the HotKnot, which is the Chinese version of NFC. We got the SIM card options and much more. This is all standard for Android. We got display, sound and notification, storage. The storage, guys, unfortunately, it is not one partition. It is split into two. We have one with about 4 gigabytes available, and the other one has about 9. So adding those two is about 16 gigabytes. But now, even though the storage is splitted, I didn't find any issues whatsoever when downloading applications. That's definitely a great news. And now we got the battery. The battery usage on this device is actually quite nice. I was able to go throughout the whole day without any issues. Keep in mind that we have a power saver MTK6735, and also it has a 720p display. So I think that those two combined has to do with the power saving. Right now I have the brightness to the fullest, but this device having such a great brightness, you actually don't have to pull it to the fullest. In my case, I went pretty much the entire day with almost about 60%, so I usually keep it around this area, and that's going to save you a lot of battery as well. Now here from the apps tab, you're going to find all the RAM that we have available on the Kingzone N5, and it is 1.5 gigabytes. So I think that's quite sufficient for you guys to play a lot of games at the same time and do a lot of multitasking. That's definitely another plus for this device. Heading on down here, we're going to find location, we got security, we have accounts, we also have language and input, which I'm going to show you exactly how many languages are supported for this device. So yes, this is definitely international. And this device is mainly designed for countries like Europe, Canada, maybe South America, but here for the USA, guys, it's very hard to get LTE on these budget devices. The only phone that I had that supported 4G LTE in the USA was the Cisbo Longbow C50A, if you guys remember that phone. That's been the only budget device from China that supported through 4G LTE in the USA, but other than that, I haven't had any more luck. Let's go back here. Now that we check all the languages, we have backup and reset, data and time. I believe that somewhere on here, I think we have it as an application. We do have gestures. Let me just confirm that with you guys. It is somewhere around here. If I find it, I will show it to you. Here it is. It's called Smart Wake. When you open the application, it's going to allow you to draw something on the screen. If you want to do that, you can also double tap it to wake it up, and you can do many other gestures as well, which is great. Some people see it as a gimmick, but I think it's actually quite cool. Now we're going to check some of the benchmark scores of this device. First of all, let's go ahead and open Antutu Tester. This is going to give us the true multi-touch screen, and here I'm going to place 5 fingers, and we can see that yes, it is a 5-point multi-touch screen. That's great. When we go here to the regular Antutu benchmark test, let me just show it to you guys here briefly. It gave it a score of about 19,000. That's very common on the MTK6735. As we know, this is a power saver processor, not a performance processor. Keep that in mind. When we go here into information, we're going to confirm that yes, this is the Kingzone N5. It comes with the Android Lollipop 5.1, like I said before, the MTK6735P, the Mali T720, the resolution of the screen. You have the camera, which is a true 13.3 megapixel sensor camera, the IMEI information, we got the storage, the RAM. Nothing has been faked on this particular model. Here I'm just going to scroll down so that way you guys can see the remaining of the information. Here we have all the sensors supported and such. And also to confirm the sensors, you guys know that I am truly a fan of this application. It is called Android Sensor Box, which I have downloaded somewhere around here, and here it is. I'm going to show you everything that comes supported, and the only ones that we don't have is the temperature sensor, the gyroscope, and even the pressure sensor. Other than that, it is supporting the majority of the sensors. Another great quality about the Kingzone N5 is that the screen doesn't have a lot of pressure points. I can press around it and you guys can see that the colors are not getting distorted that much. This is actually very impressive. I have seen other Chinese devices that are very bad when it comes to pressure points. Sometimes even pressing slightly, you can see some pressure points around the display. But Kingzone resolved that, and this time they came with a very nice display. I think that's one of the strengths of this device is the actual display itself. Right now I'm getting closer to it so that you guys can see that pixels are not very noticeable, even though it is a 720p display. And again, that has to do with the size as well. It is only 5 inches. And also I did download some other Google applications, including YouTube, which is now working perfectly well. You need to install the Google services in order to get it working properly. And you can do that automatically actually. So here we're going to check one of my videos. That way we can take the advantage and test the speaker itself so that way you guys can see how loud it is. Please let me know what you think about it. I mean, I might have the opinion that it is loud, but you guys might have a different opinion. So here we go.
More than 100 billion words are translated every day.
Lift your hand.
Thank you.
You can play at 720p. This is the Yamaha speaker that I was talking about earlier. It's so small. It's actually picking up very fast on the Wi-Fi connection. Of course, we also have the 3G connection. Alright guys, and there we heard a little bit of the speaker. We're going to also test it after I complete the Bluetooth test. Right now, what we're going to do next is go ahead and test the camera. Again, on the back we have a 13 megapixel sensor camera. On the front we have a 5 megapixel sensor. And of course, I have provided some pictures below, so make sure you guys check it out. Let's go ahead and head on, test this baby, and let me know what you guys think. Hey, what is going on everybody? This is Jay, and now we are testing the Kingzone N5 13 megapixel rear facing camera. And it is not a very shiny day in Florida. It was raining today, so we can see that the colors are actually quite bright considering that we don't have a lot of light, and the autofocus works pretty well. But if you guys want a better focus, then it is recommended that you tap on the screen. Right now I am tapping on the screen and you can see that it gets a little better. It is also quite sensitive to light. Sometimes in certain positions it looks too bright and also too dark. As you can see right now, it looks a little bit too bright, but if you focus it again, the colors go back to normal. The picture quality is also quite nice. I'll be providing some picture samples below, so make sure you guys check them out. And now let's test the front-facing camera. And now we are testing the 5 megapixel sensor camera of the Kingzone N5, and as suspected, like many and hundreds of Chinese devices, we're not getting full screen. When it comes to recording, only the higher end devices like Xiaomi, Meizu, Lenovo, Asus, and many others, they do support full screen recording. And of course, bigger names out there, including the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge, the S6, the Note 5, and so on. But in this particular case, we're not going to get full screen recording, unfortunately. This is going to be ideal for selfies, in my personal opinion. But I think that this camera is actually doing quite well when it comes to the color reproduction. They're not as dark as other devices that I've seen out there. The focus is on the poor side. It's not focusing very well. As a matter of fact, it doesn't even come with autofocus. but it is quite decent, guys. Remember, this is considered a budget phone. Alrighty guys, and there we have it for the camera test, and here we have the standard application for the camera. Nothing too special. This has been very common on Chinese phones. On the top you only have a couple features for the panorama, the beauty face, and many things like that. It's not really that impressive when it comes to the application itself, but I think that the sensor is actually shooting quite nice pictures. Again, check them out guys, they are in the description. Make sure you take a look at them and let me know what you think about it. Here I'm going to show you the resolution that I took those pictures. Is right now at 13 megapixels. That's very cool. That's for the rear facing camera. If you switch it around and go to the front facing camera, you're going to see that in fact it is a 5 megapixel sensor, and the quality is actually quite neat. I did like the fact that the colors appear to be quite realistic. Now for recording, it's very common that we see a lot of black colors on them, and also the recording looks a little bit grainy, so it's not best for recording, it's best for pictures, I would say. So here, let's go into the camera, let's scroll down, and yes, we do have a 5 megapixel sensor. And that's what I like about Kingzone, guys, that they did not fake all the specifications on this product. Everything is real, everything is working excellent. The only complaints that I have about this phone, or at least I have one, is the lack of 4G LTE so far, because everything else seems okay. I mean, maybe we could have used a little bit more memory, possibly one partition. That could be a second complaint. But that's something that we really can help, especially for the price of this device, which is only $125. But if your country supports 4G LTE on this phone, it is definitely a bargain. Another great aspect about the Kingzone N5 is the GPS. The GPS on the road works perfectly well. I didn't have any issues. It lost the signal very fast. Also, we got here the application for the GPS test, and we're going to find that it locks the signal quite fast. Sometimes it takes, I would say, 10 to 15 seconds, but for the most part, it's very fast and accurate. Now, keep in mind that I did not root the device nor hacked it in order to get it working like this. It comes like this right out of the box, which is definitely a plus. And now guys, something that we're going to check on the Kingzone N5 is how much it weighs, so that way you have a rough idea of how heavy this device is. Right now we have it in grams, and this phone is 151 grams, considering that it is only a 5-inch. It's quite heavy, and a lot of it has to do because of the metal frame, and also the battery is quite heavy on the back. So yes guys, you have the impression there that this phone is built very nice and solid. I was truly impressed that for the price, 125, is performing so well. Also, we got here my little Bluetooth speaker. Like, I call it little, but this is nowhere little. But let me just go ahead and turn it on. I'm still in the process of getting a new speaker. Hopefully I buy one from the Chinese, something that is nice and affordable. So this one is a replica actually from iBaby. For those of you who don't believe in replicas, you know, sometimes we have to be careful what we buy out there. But this one, guys, has a very nice value. It's been lasting me for quite a long time. I do apologize for that nice voice coming up, but yes, it's been lasting me a long time. This is one of my favorite products that I have reviewed from iBaby 888. So here we have connected to the Bluetooth. It was already on, and I had connected previously just to test it out before this video. So what we're going to do is go here directly into the sounds and test it out, so that way we can check out if it is worth it or not. Again, it comes with the Bluetooth 4.0. So the transmission between the phone and the speaker is actually quite fast. So let's go here into Ringtones and let's check it out. Oops, I think I just put the volume down. It has a little bit of a delay, but it's not too much. Okay, we have powered off the speaker. And right now we're listening from the phone. That famous Yamaha speaker. It's really not that bad, guys. I mean, I'm quite impressed. Look at that little tiny thing. Okay, so there we have it for the second test of the loudspeaker on the Kingzone N5. Another thing we're going to complete here is a network test. Right now I am connected to 3G and also the Wi-Fi. You can see that the Wi-Fi reception is excellent, which is actually working nice. I don't have any problems with it. So let's go ahead and get this connected here. Let's go directly into the browser. Sometimes I get confused with these two. One of them is for messages, which is the orange one, and the other one is for the browser, but we can see how similar they look and it can get confusing sometimes. So here we are right now in the browser. Let me go ahead and open kingzone.cc. Let me see if it allows me to go there directly. The keyboard is it's actually quite sensitive, but keep in mind that it's only 5 inches, so it gets a little tough when you see it through the camera like I am right now. So this is the website for Kingzone. This is where I got the phone from, and these are all the agents that they have right now, guys. I don't know if you saw that. Actually, they are on the bottom. We have Banggood, we have 1949deal.com, Tiny Deal, like I mentioned earlier. I believe we even have GearBest somewhere around here. I'm not sure, but we do have Geekbuying, Coolly Cool, Everbuying, and all the agents that actually sell this device. So you have to shop around and see who has the better price. In my personal experience, I found that 125, I believe it was from GearBest, was the best price. But you can also purchase it directly from this company if you don't find a better price. They are selling it for 125 with 99 cents, which is great. So there we have it for the Kingzone website. Let's go ahead and try another heavy one, which is YouTube. Let's go, let me see here. I believe I have opened something before, but I don't want to open something that is copyrighted. You know how YouTube can be sometimes. So here, let's go ahead and play this video directly from the browser. Quite fast, as you guys can notice. Again, I'm using the 3G connectivity. So that's working just fine. Let's go ahead and try here GearBest. Let's see if I can type it without any mistakes. And there we have it. 3G connectivity once again, very fast. This is through the Cricket service. Very nice. I'm very pleased with the browser speed. Also, let's go ahead and complete here briefly a phone call test. Actually, we're going to leave that for last. What I'm going to do next is go ahead and play with some applications and games that I have downloaded into the system, as I usually do, so that way you guys can see the performance. And then afterwards, we're going to go ahead and measure the temperature on the phone and see how hot it gets. So let's get started. guys, there we saw some of the performance of the Kingzone N5, and as I've been mentioning in the entire video, this phone is not really disappointing. It's actually quite neat. Now we're going to measure the heat on the back. It does heat up a little bit, especially by the Kingzone logo. Right now this device is about 94 degrees. Let's go ahead and measure it more towards the bottom side. It's about 94 again. Let's get here to the upper side, and we can see that yes, it went above 101, so it does heat up a little bit. Maybe a lot of that has to do because it's very thin. Also, I was playing some heavy game, including Modern Combat 5 and Oswald 8. I also played this other game that I have around here. I forget the name of it, but yes, I played about 3 different games on it, so it does heat up a little bit. Not too bad. The battery's handling very well, as you guys can see. I started the video with about the same percentage, and the battery hasn't moved a bit, and I did a lot of gaming on this device even before. So yes, on the battery side, everything's working perfectly fine, guys. I have to say that this phone is definitely recommended for the price. If you're looking for something solid, something that you can grab with one hand, then this is the way to go. Another testing we're going to complete here is a phone call test. So right now, as you guys know, I have Cricket, which is an AT&T based company. Let me go ahead and dial 611. So here we have dialed it already. Let me place it on loudspeaker.
Welcome to Cricket Wireless. Let's get started. Oprime dos para español.
Now we're testing the ear speaker. Not sure if you guys can hear that, but the ear speaker on this device is also very powerful. It's very clear, but now I do have to say that sometimes, not all of the time, it sounds a little bit scratchy, especially if the other party has a lot of noise in the background. I did notice that a little bit, so I would just recommend not putting it to the volume. If you guys leave like at least the last one not completely up, it's going to be a lot better for you. With that being said, I believe I have completed the review of the Kingzone N5, and like I said before, guys, in my personal opinion, I think this is definitely a go-to device for the price. $125 if you're looking for affordability, something with great build quality like the Kingzone N5 has. It has a metallic frame, a decent battery. You're looking for a decent camera. Like I said, just check out the pictures below and you guys might be impressed. You might not be, but I think the camera is actually pretty nice. It's a 13 megapixel sensor camera. Now the only build quality issue that I noticed on the back is the logos. They can get easily scratched, but maybe that's why they included this little case so you can protect it from day one. It has I would say a lot to offer, great value. So yes, guys, it is definitely recommended. And like always, if you do have any questions, please don't forget to comment below. Like the video, subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next one.